From the tip of the tail of New Zealand, Te Rerenga Wairua, to Bluff in the south, the Te Araroa Trail is a continuous 3,000 kilometre track that connects settlements, townships and cities. But more than that, it connects the people of Aotearoa. The track shows off all kinds of New Zealand experiences, both spiritual and physical, and of course, our stunning landscapes. You know, I've always wanted to explore the ancient trails and walkways of our tupuna, our ancestors, to meet the people who live in those small towns and communities along the way. And find out what makes us so unique and interesting. So, put the billy on, because I could be calling in to say kia ora. In this episode of Te Araroa, I'm heading off on one of our great walks. It's called the Queen Charlotte Track, and it really does have it all. Set in the majestic Marlborough Sounds, it's a daunting 71-kilometre walk that attracts visitors from all around the globe. Starting in Ship Cove and winding my way down through a labyrinth of bays, the Queen Charlotte Track ends at Anikiwa, but I'll carry on to Havelock before ending my journey on the Pelorus River, a repository for the famed Pakohe rock. And what a walk, as I take in a trip to a double-sided beach. Has this always been here?
They were escape routes. Well, that's why we never engaged in battle, because no one could catch us.
Uncle Pio, I have got something which may give you a little bit of a fright.
Brave the giant bugs of Maud Island? Really, do we really need to get that out? And find out that not all rocks are created equal.
This one here in particular, passed down from my father, it's probably 500 years old.
And this was made by our tupuna hundreds of years ago. It's a journey through one of the most glorious slices of paradise I've ever encountered. When you decide to walk the Queen Charlotte Trail, part of the fun is just getting there. The hour-long journey from Picton to Ship Cove is spectacular. You'd be a fool not to soak up every second.
You guys thought I was asleep, eh? Well, how can you be asleep when you are surrounded by such beauty? Kia ora, nau mai haere mai, and welcome to this week's episode of the Te Araroa Trails. Well, I'm here in Tōtara Nui, or Queen Charlotte Sound, at the beginning of my trek, and I'm heading off to Ship's Cove where my trek starts. I'll be going over to Anikiwa. It's about a 70k walk, and I'll be up on the top of the hills, I'll be down amongst the valleys, and I'm looking forward to checking out how beautiful this whenua looks when I'm just trekking through the bush. Nō reira koutou mai, nau mai haere mai, welcome to Tōtara Nui, Queen Charlotte Sound.
Queen Charlotte, or Tōtara Nui, occupies the far east of the Marlborough Sounds. The remarkable scenery has kept the Inter-Islander service full of tourists travelling from Wellington since 1962. It's renowned as one of the most spectacular ferry rides in the world. The geography of the area is breathtaking. At one point, this body of water was a river valley, and the land here is slowly sinking into the sea, so not many beaches have formed. It really is unique. And here it is, Mere Toto. There are only two ways to get here, by boat or taking the 4-day hike on the trail. It's here that the first sustained contact between Māori and Europeans took place. But it's got a rich history that precedes Cook, a history I'm keen to learn more about. Disembarking, I'm struck not just by the natural beauty of the area, but also the weight of the past. I'm here to meet a man who's from a new generation of Ngāti Apa ki te Rātō, leaders who are reshaping the public perception of the area's history.
Kia ora, bro.
Hey, kia ora, kia ora. Pēhea.
Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, bro. Tēnā koe. Nau mai hara mai. Nau mai ki tēnei wāhi o tātou e ki ana ko mere toto.
Ai.
Mere toto.
Oh, te ātāhua hoki, ne?
Yeah, he whenua haukura me ki o rātou mā.
Engari e hoa no konei koe?
Yeah, no konei au, tipu ake au I konei, ko Ngāti Apa ki te Rātō, rangitāne Ngāti koe o kuiwi, ngā maramaro o te wako o kura haupo.
So this was one of the early settlements that our whānau came to, your whānau came to?
Most definitely, and so when our iwi traversed te moana o ngā raukawakawa to te tauihu here and into Marlborough Sounds, Mere Toto was one of those places where we came ashore first and started to occupy, and we occupied all these bays around here.
Yeah, it's a good spot. You've got the ngahere, ngā kai moana, everything's here.
Nice and sheltered.
Nice and sheltered.
You know, we follow the kōrero of Kupe, and there's a pou here of Kupe.
Yeah.
We'd love to show you around.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. Let's check it out.
Sure.
I got the best guide.
So anei tō tātou pou, pio,
Aye.
tō tātou tūpuna kraua Kupe,
Aye.
raua tai ko te wheke a Muturangi. Mere Toto is a very well-known place all over the world. So here we have our people greeting the rest of the world to this very special place. And you know how appropriate it's Kupe and the story around Kupe and Te Wheke a Muturangi, because we believe that different bays are the different tentacles of Te Wheke a Muturangi. So we have places like Ana Tohia, Ana Mahanga. So all those bays and coves make up the tentacles of Te Wheke a Muturangi. We go further down by Nelson Lakes. Rotoiti and Rotorua are the eye sockets of Te Wheke a Muturangi. So once you understand the pū kōrero, then you can get a real appreciation of our landscapes and how they were formed by our tūpuna.
So this really is the key to the whole area.
Yeah, it's our key to our past.
Yes.
And ensuring that we hold true to those pūrākau ko ngā momo pēnei anō I a Kupe.
Tēnā tāhua e hoa. Tēnā koe te rangatira.
But it's a shared history on display here. Ship Cove was one of Captain James Cook's favourite anchorages, and the imposing Cook Memorial was opened back in 1913. Kupe's pou might have been erected 100 years later, but it speaks of the fact that this country wasn't discovered in 1769.
So you've got Kupe, pou, you've got Cook and his thing here. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I think that as long as we acknowledge the order, tīmata ki a Kupe, ki era momo tūpuna, we were here before the arrival of Cook.
Yep.
We were here on the arrival of Cook. We weren't discovered, we were already here.
That's right. Yeah, you can't discover a place when people are waving at you when you arrive.
Yeah, welcoming you in.
Great. I'm glad it's here. I'm glad it's here. You know, with the guns and the big thingy.
Big concrete.
Yeah, yeah.
thing.
I don't like the way it looks. I'm glad it's here.
Yeah. Looks stink, bro.
While Kylie shows me around, his daughter and mum get busy with their own special project.
And so this place is really, really special. You know, Mere Toto is probably known more internationally than it is home. You know, people get really emotional when they come to these type of places. They live in busy cities, it's all about the individual, but when they come to places like this, it's about being able to push pause and really connect to the whenua and connect to our culture. And I think, again, as cultural ambassadors, that's the role that we can play.
Kia hake tua o mutuarara, e poti te taie, ah.
Hea tuarangi e huka ana te tai a Kupe I paua te wheke a Muturangi kia mate no I a ha. Mō mātou me ki mātou o Kurahaupo nei, kua mate te katoa o ngā tangata kōrero i te reo Māori, ara ko te reo Māori tō rātou reo tuatahi. Nō reira, i tēnei wā, kei te anga whakamua mātou, ko tō mātou hia, kia whakatō ko te reo me ona tikanga ki roto i a mātou anō, o te rā i roto i ngā rangatahi ngā tamariki, kia whakatō te kākano ki roto ki a rātou, kia tūrangatirai, kia tūpakari ai, rātou i roto i tēnei ao huri nei. Me te whakaaro anō ko te reo me ona tikanga te tūāpapa o te tangata, nō reira koeira tāku tino mahi, kia kaue mai rātou ki ngā wāhi pēnei a mere toto nei, me ngā wāhi a tāhua, kia tū rangatira ai rātou i roto i ngā āhuatanga o te wā.
Well, whānau, ngā mihi nui mō tēnei rā tino ātāhua.
Tū, ngā mihi kia koe hoa, ko te tūmanaku i pai tō noho i Wanganui a mātou. So Mum and Te Marama made a pare kawa for you, and we thought it might be nice before you go on the trails for you to offer that to Kupe, an acknowledgement of all those tūpuna that came before us. And yeah, hei tohu whakamaumahara ki a rātou.
Kia ora.
Ka pai.
I'd love to. It'd be a... Thanks, bud. Ai, marika. Tēnā rā koe te rangatira.
Koe no tēnei rā mātou e mihi ana ki a koe rā e te tūpuna e Kupe. Kia tau mai rā o manaakitanga ki runga ki tēnei ai e takahi ana ki runga i te mato te whenua. Whāno, hara mai te toki, haumi e, hui e, tai ki e. Ka pai, ko tātou tērā.
Kia ora. Kia ora, tēnā.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Tēnā koe. Ngā mihi e
Tēnā
hoa.
koe pana. Ngā mihi, a tōna wā.
Too much.
Kia pai te haere.
Kia kaha.
Ka pai.
Kia ora.
Kia ora rā.
I'm walking one of the most spectacular trails in the country. Heading south from Ship Cove, I'm trekking inland on a hikoi through the lush native bush as I make way towards my next stop on the trail.
Okay, let's check out our route. Right. Here you are, or we are, right here. Okay, then we're going up to Lookout Point and then all the way down here into Resolution Bay. Stage 1, haere mai. Whew. It's a bit steep, bro.
The track here is well maintained, and there's obviously been a lot of work done ensuring that it's safe for walkers. But if you want my honest opinion, an escalator wouldn't go amiss.
You know what, whānau? Through the camera it may not look that steep, but I can tell you it is pretty steep. So, just one foot after the other. Kia ata haere.
Only a couple of 100 years ago, paths like this would have been our highways, and the rhythm of life, a lot simpler.
You know, as I continue along on my hikoi, it actually takes me a bit of time to get relaxed at the beginning, but now I'm feeling good. I've got into my stride. I've got this beautiful ngahere and this lovely canopy that's sort of keeping me a bit cool. But I tell you one thing, I do love the bird song. Kia ora. Oh, man. Tino a tāhua whānau, this is absolutely beautiful. Oh, look at this. Down here on this side is Resolution Bay, and I've got to go down that way, obviously, to continue my hikoi. And right over the other side is the Endeavour Inlet. And the trail sort of takes us along the top of these ridges. I've got a bit in front of me, but is it worth it? Totally worth it. It's totally cool. I feel great, actually.
And finally, the descent. As much as Queen Charlotte is about a journey through pristine native bush, it's the constant presence of the spectacular sparkling waters of the Sounds that make it really special. And after 5 hours in the bush, I'm back down at sea level, where I'm meeting a man who has a real connection to Tangaroa.
Kia ora, bro.
Kia pero. Man,
Yeah, good to see you.
come and meet the whānau.
Kia ora.
Mike's the last commercial fishing operator working in the Sounds.
There you go. Like a gazelle, mate. Awesome. This is nice, eh?
And on his days off, he goes fishing.
Well, bro, like many parts of Aotearoa, another piece of paradise, eh? This is your Papakainga? This is where you're from?
Yep. My mother was raised in the Sounds, and my grandfather was raised in the Sounds, and so was my great-grandfather. In fact, we've been living here for about 800 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you do out here?
Bring the whānau out for a fish. That's all there is to do, that, or pig hunting.
Yeah?
Yeah. So today, if we're lucky, Pio, we're going to throw the drag net round, the old Araroa net, and we hope to catch us some good-sized snapper, and then we'll let the rest go.
You know, I always thought blue cod was the fish of this area.
Yeah, but there's not many left at the moment, and they're all scrapping over different rules, when in fact what they should be doing is enhancing them. They should be breeding them with our hatchery technology and releasing them in the Sounds for everybody, like we're doing with the flounder.
Okay, and you've been doing stuff with flounder that's been successful?
Well, yeah, we've managed to breed them, and we're managing to do that. We're the first in the Southern Hemisphere to achieve that, thanks to a grant that we were given. We're also working with Plant and Food now on butterfish. They've already successfully bred them, but they were having problems feeding them.
Yeah, yeah.
So possibly with another grant we can complete that stage so that along with snapper and flounder, butterfish will be able to be enhanced.
The family's taking me to one of their favourite spots, a little bay that joins two small islands. It's a slither of land with sea on either side, a little hideaway in the middle of paradise.
So this bit here, has this always been here?
Yeah, this has always been here. This is where our people used to escape when the North Islanders used to come down in their big wakas.
Yeah.
We only had 4 manners, so we used to be able to come here, pick them up and go through there.
That's it.
Poke our tongue out to the mate.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
And are there a few of these around the Sounds?
There's 9 that I know of.
Yeah.
They were escape routes.
Pretty mobile, eh?
Well, that's why we never engaged in battle, because no one could catch us.
That's clever.
Yeah, why fight when you can run and live another day?
Kia ora.
It's no longer a place to hide, but a magnificent place to play. The kids enjoy a swim while the adults prepare nets to fish on the other side of this narrow strip beach. Mike's laying a net in much the same way his tipuna did, a skill they passed on to the first Pākehā who found their way here.
When Captain Cook came and met with my ancestors in Queen Charlotte Sounds, they had nets a mile long, and it's the first time they'd ever seen long lines because the white boys were fishing with one hook stall. They couldn't even sail into the wind then either. That's enough, son. Pull.
Pass it along.
Keep going, fellas. Don't stop. Yeah.
Kaha. Well, whānau, it's all go here now. The object of this is to keep the rope moving, and that rope serves sort of like a sheepdog, really. Sort of gets all the fish into the net, and we're way laughing. I was made responsible of calling up the rope at the other end of the line, and I think I've done a pretty stink job, actually. But the boss man there, the shark man, says, "She'll be right, bro. You'll be fine." We are in paradise. We're with the whānau. Nothing can go wrong.
Horse and snag.
We've hit a bit of a snag, and this could be a problem because the fish could get out, but we're sending out a couple of fighter pilots in our waka here, ki te whakatika te kupenga, sort out our net, and hopefully we have fish for lunch. Good boy, mate, good boy, keep it up, keep moving. Houston, we have a problem. And, oh, hang on, we're on the move. Look at that, work of art.
All that work and no fish. Kind of proves a point, I guess.
Hey, look, the fish didn't turn up today.
No.
What do you reckon the answer is?
The cure for no fish is put some back.
That's simple.
It's that simple,
Yeah.
and the thing is, we've got the technology.
So you reckon
Had it all the time.
You reckon it's not too late?
No, it's
Never too late,
Never
eh?
too late.
Yeah.
Never too late if you've got a will and you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Proud
know, whatever happens today, what a fantastic family day.
Oh, yeah,
though, eh?
beautiful.
But our tamariki running around.
Yep.
It's good to see kids in New Zealand growing up like this.
Oh yeah, it's good. No bee stings.
No.
No bit of sunblock,
Yeah.
and point them at the water.
Yeah, that's it. And keep an eye on
And
them.
keep an eye on them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep
that's
an eye.
the
As
way.
long as they're floating, we're winning.
Yeah, kia ora. Yeah, we all are. Hey guys, this has been an absolute pleasure for me, bro.
Oh,
and,
good.
Thank you for the aroha, typical Southern Maori hospitality.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
Tēnā koe, tēnā korua.
Yeah.
And kids, remember, listen to your mother, eat your vegetables, do your homework. You guys are beautiful. Kia ora. Oh, kia ora whānau. Whew. Well, as you guys know, that when you're travelling along the Queen Charlotte track, you're sort of moving along the tops of the puke, the whenua here. But it's also good to go down into the bays and check out the wide range of accommodation that we have here. Now, I'm at Portage Bay, which is here on the Kenepuru Sound. But what I want to do is, I've got this opportunity, right, to go over to the next sound, Pelora Sound, to check out an island sanctuary that's one of our very best. So I've got to go. I want to go. You should come too. Kia ora.
Maud Island, or Te Pākeka, is the second largest island in the Marlborough Sounds and is being transformed into a pest-free wildlife sanctuary for rare and endemic native species.
It's a bit rough, bro.
Bit rough. Can't work in these conditions, mate.
Oh, no.
Very hard. So they say the fishing isn't that flash, bro. You know, to what
Yeah, no, not really. Once you get to the outer sounds, it's not too bad. But inner sounds, fishing's not as good as it used to be, but I think it's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
Just makes you a better hunter, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the hunting's good.
Hunting's good, brother. It doesn't actually have a reserve status. There's just no fin fishing within that area. So we can collect shellfish.
You scollies in the bay?
Not telling.
Good on you, bro. Woo, we're here, man.
Yeah,
We even got the welcome party, mate.
we have indeed. Got the whānau down there.
I'm hitching a ride with Dock Ranger Frank Higgett. Frank and his partner Sue have been managing Dock Islands for the best part of 10 years. They've been keeping the island pest-free for just over a year, living on site with their two children, Heni and Piripi.
What a lovely welcome.
Pio. Kia ora. Ko Susan Takuhoa Rangatira.
Tēnā koe, Susan.
Ko Piripi Kohe.
All right.
Raua ko Heni Q.
All right. Kia ora. Nice to meet you guys. Give me fives. Cool. What next?
Foot bath.
Okay. Foot bath.
That's
And this is for any heebie-greebies?
yeah, that's right. Any germs and that on your shoes so that they don't spread to our wildlife.
Should be
here.
swimming in it. Awesome. Oh, he does a dance.
It's a special one.
Awesome. Here I am.
Here you are.
Henny's Cafe. Can I have a flat white, please?
Oh, come on. Can't do that.
Just joking. Hey, what's going on here, guys?
This is a common gecko.
Is it a real one?
Yes. Of course it's a real one. Why are we holding a fake toy one? And you can tell it moves.
Oh. I have never held a gecko. Moko moko.
Yeah,
is the
moko moko.
Moko moko?
Moko moko, yeah.
You guys are very good. Mum, what are the other endangered things that are on the island?
One of our very special animals is the Moor Island frog.
Right.
So we've got one here.
All I
There
can
has
see is a
been-
bunch of leaves so far,
Yeah.
my dear. Crikey.
Only found on Te Pākeka, Moor Island. That's one there. And the reason I've got a glove on is because these guys are like the canary in the mine. So if anything happens in our environment that is bad, these guys are going to be the first ones to show signs of it.
So if they're not well, the island's not well.
That's right.
It's estimated that there are only around 30 to 40,000 of these little critters left. But not every creature here is as cute as those guys.
Uncle Pio, I have got something which may give you a little bit of a fright.
Really? You think I'm a bit of a... What is it?
You'll see.
I don't like this. Really? Do we really need to get that out? I am actually a little bit scared of spiders and things like that. I don't do them. Well, that's big. What sort of weta is that?
Cook straight giant weta.
Cook straight giant weta. Look at you, kiddo. So what does that feel like crawling up your arm?
It feels like a huge fat spider with spiky things on its feet.
What about that thing coming off its bum there? Well, I mean, what's the story with that? That doesn't look very inviting.
It's an ovipositor, how they lay their eggs. They stick it in the ground and it opens up and the eggs come out.
Look here, kids. Can you help me overcome this phobia? Can you put that onto me and see if I can handle it? That feels weird.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, nah. Here you go, love. There you go. Yeah, I think it's the aftershave that's putting her off. What is the Māori name for weta?
Weta is a Māori name. Oh,
You're good. You're good, kid. It's actually a weta.
weta.
Weta. But in order for these magnificent endemic species to survive, steps must be taken. And again, it's the kids leading the way.
I have something to show you, Bill,
Cool.
Uncle.
So what's happening here, miss? What is this?
This is a trap box to help protect our native animals here.
And what do they trap?
Rats and mice and stoats.
Yeah. And did your dad set this trap up?
No, I did.
By yourself?
Yeah.
So how many traps have you got?
6.
Have you caught anything?
No.
You know what? That's good, eh? That means everything that you and your parents and your brother are doing is working. You should be pleased with that. So can you show me how to bait this up?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, the ants have been into this.
Yay, we caught some ants. Do you use smooth or crunchy peanut butter?
Well, basically smooth because they can't eat the hard.
Right.
Well, it won't attract them if it's not hard.
Smooth's the way to go.
Yeah.
Very good. So, Henny, explain to me how this works.
Well, you see the mouse goes in that hole and it just smells the scent of the peanut butter in there and it walks in there and then that's the end of the mouse's life.
No more mouse. Can I have some of your peanut butter?
Nope.
Nowadays, it's rats, mice and stoats that are the intruders being kept off Maud Island. But during the Second World War, it was invaders of a different kind that were the focus of attention.
Oh, what? Man, this place keeps dishing it up, doesn't it? Obviously strategically placed.
Yeah.
But you have to say, stunning, eh?
Yeah.
So tell me about this. Obviously a defence gun emplacement.
Yeah. So built in the middle of World War II, sort of early 1940s.
Yeah.
There was a real threat of Japanese invasion in New Zealand during World War II, and so they decided on all these coastal defences around the Marlborough Sounds, and so this is one of them. It took them 18 months to build not only this, but the other structures on the island.
That's really fast.
Yeah.
Because this is really substantial.
Yeah, it is. And it was all built by hand, of course, so in those days all they had out here was a crawler tractor.
Yeah.
And everything arrived by sailing scow.
But they didn't cut any corners, did they? I mean, just look at it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Must have been a pretty big gun sitting here.
Yeah, it was. It was similar to a howitzer, so 88 millimetre, huge thing with, big shells in it.
Yeah.
Capable of firing at something that would come into the entrance out there, really.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, never fired in anger though.
You come up here and play?
Yeah. Like, we come up and play, like, it's World War II and we're in the war and everything. Yeah.
So what can you tell me about this place?
Well, they actually never fired in anger,
Right.
And so they wound it up to its full height and they gave it the biggest charge they could in it and they fired it right out to the Chetwoods.
What, just for practice?
They just did it for the hang of it.
Really?
Yeah.
So how far did it go?
It got the island.
It hit the island?
Yeah, it set part of it on fire.
Cool, eh?
Yeah.
Can you imagine those guys going, woo-hoo!
Yeah.
We shot the island. Cheers, bro. Say chirp.
Sure.
I like where you live, bro, do you?
Yeah. Tēnā koe, Tangaroa. Kia ora mō te kai, iho. Tēnā koe, Humia. Kia ora mō te kai, iho.
Mauri ora.
Mauri ora.
Well done, buddy. Tēnā koe, mate. Tēnā koe mō te karakia. I've got mine.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, they look good.
Ooh, I bet they taste good too, brother.
Do they? I'll be the judge of that.
Dig in.
That's beautiful. Eat this pup up. This is lovely. Thanks for booking the table. It's a very good choice.
It's hard to get into this restaurant.
I know it's hard.
The waiting list.
Tēnā koutou whānau, ngā mihi nui kia koutou hoki. It's been an absolute pleasure being here. I sort of come off the Te Araroa Trail, but it's been such a magic interlude. And thanks for having me at this special place. It's been an honour. Kids, you're awesome. Sure?
Sure.
Well, I've got to go, and I will go once I have another mussel, all right? Or
Kia ora.
two. Kia ora. Ooh, how convenient. Well, kia ora whānau, I have made it here to Anakiwa. Tino a tāhua tēnei wāhi. Just over 70 k's from the beginning of the trek at Mere Toto Ship Cove to here where it ends at Anakiwa. The Te Araroa Trail's constantly changing with new tracks created to improve on the old. And between here and Havelock are new link paths being forged to replace the current trail. And it's been built by a couple of artists. Now, you're probably wondering why a couple of artists are literally blazing a new trail on Te Araroa. Well, it's a pretty interesting story, so let's go and have a kōrero to Rick and Ross and find out what they're up to. Kia ora. Rick Edmonds and Ross Brownson are the founders of a 42-kilometre stretch of trail that links Picton to Havelock. The duo have put in hundreds of hours cutting a new section of Te Araroa into the hillside and enlisted the work of over 300 volunteers to help. What they've achieved is impressive to say the least.
So this is what you guys have to put up with, eh?
Almost as impressive as the view.
This is a pretty significant place because you've got salt water meeting fresh water. And this is the end of the Flores Sound, finishes at Havelock. And up there is the end of Flores River, which is a freshwater river which runs into the Sound. And yet we're still 40 kilometres from the open sea. So the Flores River has still got quite a journey through the Sound till it gets to the open sea. And you are going to be tramping along here, all the way up the Flores River, following the trail that way. Ross and I started on this about 12 months ago, and prior to pushing a trail through here, the trail went all the way up the hill and then drops down just as steep on the other side. And it's a real grunt.
Yeah.
And the idea of what we were doing was to follow the contours. And if you're following a contour, it's far easier than going up and over. So while it's longer, it's far more easier to walk. And look at the view you get to enjoy as you're walking.
Loving it.
And you know, the journey is the exciting part, not the destination.
So Ross, what sort of challenge was it to get through this sort of growth?
Pretty challenging. Yeah, a lot of barberry, blackberry, gorse, you know, everything that prickles you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to put it in perspective, you know, the gorse is this tall. It really is. And it really is as thick as your thigh.
Yeah.
It really is. And, you know, he's working away with a machete, trying to cut his way through or crawling through underneath. And you look at this track now and you kind of forget just what Ross had to deal with.
Mate, that's awesome. We should name a sea after you. The Ross... Oh, it's already been done. Kia ora, bro.
That's good.
Yeah. Bit of action here, eh?
So yeah, what we're doing here is just building up the level of the existing rock wall that they built.
Yeah.
And yeah, just keeping it all in keeping with the original.
So Ross, do you do this full time? You can't do this full time, can you?
No.
So how'd you get into this?
I reckon I was sort of talking one day in town, and I said, oh, I could probably spare a couple of hours a week.
Yeah.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
And has it stayed at a couple of hours a week?
No.
So this is obviously no mortar. What's the science behind this, Ross?
Just using the dirt as a mortar and around the stones. Once it weathers a bit, it sort of glues it all together.
It's got to last 150 years.
Yeah. You've got to, yeah. The bar has been set, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Otherwise, somebody will probably complain to us.
So tell me about the discovery of this wall.
Oh, that was cool. We didn't know it was going to be here. And you kind of feel like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You know, you've bashed your way through the Amazon jungle and you found this Inca
fighting off
temple,
snakes and...
temple or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
This is the New Zealand equivalent.
Yeah.
154 years this wall was built.
Yeah.
So that's going back as far as we go with our colonial history.
So this, to the early settler, was State Highway 1, the road.
Yeah, I mean, it mightn't look much to us,
Yeah.
but to them, this was a highway.
Yeah.
This was it. And it was wide enough and of a standard for the early settlers to lead their pack horse by its bridle. And so it became known as a bridle path. Yeah.
Now, have you ever found anything along here?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, because I've been dying to show you this. You know, we were talking about the pack horse.
Yeah.
Well, look, there's his shoe.
Look at that.
But wait, there's more.
Right.
Let me show you this.
I'm going to get lost.
Look at this. Hand forged.
Yeah.
And it's got a broken handle, so we presume that when the handle broke, it was discarded. And it's lain there for 150 years until we found it. It's a mattock. Hand forged.
Yep.
And that's what they would have dug the path with. They didn't have diggers and bulldozers and all that stuff in those days, and this is what they made the path with. What's going to be neat is we're going to put a new handle on that, and we're going to use it when we finish the pathway for the very last bit, just to ceremoniously complete the path. So the very tool that built it 150 years ago
It's going to finish her off.
is going to finish it off. Is that nice or what?
You know what? I know a fella down here from Ngāti Kuia who could make a handle for that, put a bit of a carving on it, and then that would be just an ornament, you know?
That would link the cultures.
Totally.
And it's called the link pathway because we want to link people. So how good is that?
That's done. I'll give you his number.
Or do it.
Yeah, no, totally. That would be awesome, and I'd love to. That's great, man. I love this stuff. Rick and Ross have discovered a lot, blazing their own section of the Te Araroa Trail. But the biggest thing they've learnt is that it's a hell of a lot of hard work. I'm surprised it took them this long to work that out. But by jingoes, it's been worthwhile, mate. Well, this is all pretty cool, so you've obviously done a bit of work here.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing it like this now, but I wish you could have seen it even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Probably back in the day, the miners had a bridge across here.
Yeah.
And it's long gone. But we scratched our heads and puzzled over this section for quite a few weeks before we determined what we were going to do. So what you see is the final solution, and to do that we had to drag that culvert all the way in from the path end, which is about half a kilometre further on, drag it in by hand, drop it into what was a ravine and create this causeway across here that you now see. And the difference from when we started to when we finished was huge. And you look at it now and you just don't realise what's gone into making it.
But it must be a huge sense of satisfaction.
I guess, you know, as artists, we're always thinking, does this look nice? Does it feel good? Is it attractive? Is it going to is it going to draw people to using it rather than just going from A to B in the shortest way possible? We are trying to link communities and link people and get people out enjoying this bit of hillside, and the nicer we can make it and the better we can make it and the more attractive we can make it, the more we're going to get people using it and enjoying it.
Well, on behalf of all of us, bro, thanks so much to you guys. You guys are amazing. And it is beautiful and it does work, and we've met, so tēnā koe, bro.
Hey, thanks for coming along.
Yeah,
I
no,
really
awesome.
appreciate you being here.
I'm going this way, and love to stop and help you a bit more, but kia ora, guys, thank you so much. Keep up the good work, boys.
Yep. Nice chap, hey? Yeah. Good to see him on the pathway.
Yep, brilliant.
Hey, I'm sure he looks taller than that on TV.
Yeah.
I heard that. I've got some Ks under my belt now, having finished Queen Charlotte Track and the brand new link trail to Havelock. Nearing the end of my journey, with only one stop to go on the trail, my hikoi will finish at the Pelorus River, where I'm meeting a man who knows a thing or two about stones and the history of the area. What are you looking for?
Well, we're looking for pākohi.
Pākohi,
Pākohi.
Ko tērā te ingoa Māori?
Aye,
What's the
aye,
Pākehā name?
Argillite or metamorphosized mudstone.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's got one of those technical names, but
Yeah.
argillite is what it's commonly called.
Yeah.
It's a dark type of stone, so when all the other stones look similar, we're looking for something that's dark.
Dark, you say?
Right, Peel, this is what we're looking for here.
Yep.
See the colour, even though it's got a couple of different tones. So, some nice flat surface on there. It's got some places where you can certainly get in there and start breaking away the rock with some of the hammerstones.
For what use?
For making toki, for carving, for making waka, for cutting trees.
Yeah.
All those tools that were necessary in the early days.
Yeah.
Tupuna, if they didn't cut down trees, they couldn't make waka, they couldn't build whare.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to support a tribe.
So, is it sort of relevant to here mainly, the Waiponamu?
Aye. Pākohi only comes from here. What we call Pai Tangata. Ranges from Rotoiti, back in Nelson area, Whakatū, out to Rangitoto.
Right.
The island, Devil Island, Rangitoto.
So it must have been, you know, a good trading commodity.
There was a Pounamu Trail and Pākohi Trail.
Gotcha.
The relationships that you had to have between the top of the south and the bottom of the north.
You'd have to be good to people, eh? Because, you know, you don't want to upset people with this stuff or the Pounamu stuff or the mutton bird stuff.
I've seen adzes made from this stuff up in the Auckland Museum.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Engari no konei, they're from here.
Aye. Yeah, from here.
Right, so good for us to take back and have a bit of a practice and learn from it.
Certainly.
Do you have people within your hapu that carry this from here to the car?
No.
Okay, bro. I'll just do a few stretches.
It's very heavy, Bill.
Right. So, Raymond, haka tēnei wāhi?
Wai ko Titi Raukaua. It's a place that we got back in treaty settlements, cultural redress. Yeah, we've had it for 5 years now. We do a range of things here.
Yep.
Whānau activities, weddings, 21sts. Cool. I use it in my job, providing wānanga on Pākohi. Pākohi that we've just found, and we've got it all set up to go and do some mahi if you want to come over and have a look.
Keen ass, dude.
Hapai, haramai.
Bro, this looks like a Stone Age working site, and it is really, isn't it?
This is how our tūpuna did it. The idea of it is to shape it out with the tools of the trade. Hammer stones, and it's just split. And that slowly takes it down and down all these ridges.
Just by doing that tap, 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 tap.
You can see it coming off.
So what is this?
This particular shape is used for gouging out the middle of the waka. Carving in the waka with the use of this other adze coming in on the side. And
so different type of...
Different tools, different use, different purpose. This one here in particular, passed down from my father, it's probably 500 years old.
Yeah. This was made by our tupuna.
Yes.
Hundreds of years ago.
Hundreds of years ago. My father passed it to me, and I'll hang on to it forever and pass it on to my kids.
You're not where, bro. So Raymond, this is the sort of the finishing room?
Yeah, this is where our hoanga are, our sanding stones. These hoanga have been gifted to us from around the muti. All have a different type of coarseness to them. This one's quite fine, this one's a bit coarser.
Yeah.
And then starting to rub that onto there. You can feel it, Go on, have a go with that.
It's biting, I can hear it biting.
Yeah.
You imagine all those years ago, you know, all the kōrero, the karakia, the scheming,
Certainly. When we started on our wānanga, the karakia come out, but you know, when you've got 10, 15 people around, all doing different stuff, the kōrero changes all the time. It's great.
From ancient kōrero to where the kata should be going to France.
Yes, yes, very much so. You know, rugby's very important discussion.
Very important part of this.
Yes.
Typical. I love it. Well, Raymond, ngā mihi nui, bro. I've really appreciated what I've seen and learnt today. It's been awesome, brother.
Really great to have you here. Phil, showing you the mahi that we do around here.
Yeah.
Our tūpuna, you know, great for Ngāti Kuia. Great to have you here. Wish you well on your journey.
Win-win, brother.
Ai, ngā mihi.
Ngā mihi.
Ai,
thanks.
Kia ora.
Now, just Te Araroa Trail?
Te Araroa Trail is along the Maungatapu Road, right here.
Yeah.
4 feet in front of you. Take a right, brother, you can't miss it.
Tēnā koe, bro.
Hey.
All the best. Love to the whānau.
Ka kite anō e hoa.
Me koe hoki, ka kite.
Ai.
Whānau, as you know, I'm a North Auckland boy and proud of it, but I will never pass up a chance to come to the South Island, the mainland, Te Waiponamu. I love it down here. And this part of the Te Araroa Trail has been just amazing. I'll tell you something though, growing up as a Māori boy in Auckland, or on the East Coast or Rotorua or Ruatoria is a lot different to growing up down here, I would think. So I've got to say kia ora koutou to our whānau down here who are doing amazing things. They're doing fantastic things. They're keeping our reo alive, our tikanga alive, and what's good for Māori is good for Aotearoa, and I've got to tell you, it's good enough for me.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.